Good morning, dear students. Welcome back. Today, we are going to study another interesting poem prescribed in your syllabus, Rain on the Roof. This poem is written by Coach Skinny, and this poem talks about the impact of rain on the mind of the poet. Right? So, before we understand the poem, let's talk about the poet. Coach Skinny was born in November 24, 1826 and died in January 25, 1904. He was a lawyer, politician, journalist, and poet from the United States. The poem Rain on the Roof will make you understand the importance of memories in our lives. And you will realize that memories are an inseparable part of our lives. This poem will also help you to appreciate the images created by the poet in the poem. The poem is about the rain. The poet is telling us about the memories he has of the rain. The sound of raindrops falling on the roof of his house brings back sweet memories of the past. And he rejoices those memories. And we also do that. Sometimes we recollect the memories of the past and we rejoice them. We feel good about all those memories. Isn't it? Now, let's read the text and understand the poem. When the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres, and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. What a bliss to press the pillow of a cottage chamber bed and lie listening to the patter of the soft rain overhead. So in these lines, the poet is saying that when the humid shadows hover, humid shadows here refers to dark clouds which are full of water, which are moisture laden and are about to bring rain. So when they hover over all the starry spheres, which refers to the sky at night, these clouds move around in the sky and the sad darkness of the night is wiped off by the raindrops which seem like tears falling from the sky. The poet is comparing raindrops to tears, and he says that the dark sky, which seems to be very sad, it appears as if it is crying, and the raindrops are the tears shed by it. He adds that it is like a blessing to lie on the bed in the room and listen to the sound made by raindrops falling on the roof. I hope you all understood stanza 1. Stanza 2. Every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart, and 1,000 dreamy fancies into busy being start, and 1,000 recollections weave their air threads into woof as I listen to the patter of the rain upon the roof. In these lines, the poet is expressing his feelings when he hears the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his house. He says that every tinkle on the shingles has an echo in the heart. Whenever he hears rain falling on the rooftop, the sound repeats in his heart and in his dreams. He has many different fanciful imaginations. He adds that this sound of the rain falling on the rooftop creates many new different dreams in his mind. He recollects many memories of the past which come back into his mind as dreams. So he says that As he listens to the patter of the rain upon the roof, he has many new dreams in his mind, and the memories of the past come back in the form of dreams. Stanza 3. Now in memory comes my mother, as she used in years agone, to regard the darling dreamers, she left them till the dawn. Oh, I feel her fond look on me as I listen to this refrain, which is played upon the shingles by the patter of the rain. Now, in this stanza, the poet introduces his mother. He says that he's dreaming of his mother. As he had told in the previous stanza, that rain brings memories of the past. It is the memory of his mother who is no longer alive. In the past, she used to love him a lot. She used to consider him a darling, and she would let him sleep till daybreak and have sweet dreams. The poet can still feel that his mother is looking at him as he listens to the song made by the raindrops falling on the rooftop of his room. The sound of the rain makes him correlate his past with his present. That is why the poet is moved by the sound of the raindrops on the shingles of his room. Whenever he hears this sound, it brings back memories of the past and he's reminded of his mother. Wow, what a beautiful thought. Now, let's look at new words and their meanings. Hover, it means to move around something. Melancholy means sad. Bliss means happiness. Patter is sound of raindrops falling on the roof. Tinkle is light ringing sound. Echo means repeated sound. Woof is thread woven across the loom. Air is old poetic word for before dawn, and refrain is a repeated part of a song or a poem. Now, let's talk about the central idea of the poem. This poem tells us what the poet is thinking about when he hears the sound of the rain falling. The poem praises the healing power of nature's rain, especially when heard from a cozy bed in a lovely cottage. The poet says that it is pleasant to live and sleep comfortably in a cottage on a rainy night, when the tinkle of the rain brings dreamy fancies and he recollects fond memories of the past. The rain is thus an instrument of beautiful memories of the past years. The sounds of rain falling takes the poet to his childhood, when the fondest memory of his mother is brought before him in all her gentle loveliness. Now, let's look at the poetic devices used in the poem. Alliteration, which means repetition of consonant sound at the beginning of each word in the same line. For example, in the first stanza we have humid hover, starry spheres, press pillow, lie listening. In the second stanza we have busy being, their thread, and rain roof. And in the third stanza we have darling dreamers. So all these are examples of alliteration from the poem Rain on the Roof. Next we have Anomatopia, which means the use of sound, words to create a dramatic effect and auditory imagery. It means when you read something, that image is formed in your mind. You can hear something, right? For example, patter is the use of sound word. It is the sound made by the raindrops falling on the rooftop. Anomatopia, the use of sound words to create a dramatic effect and auditory imagery. Transferred epithet. It is defined as a device in which an adjective is added before the name of a person or object in order to bestow positive or negative qualities to that object. For example, melancholy darkness. Here, darkness is noun and melancholy is adjective, describing darkness. Then the next example is dreamy fancies. Fancies here is noun and dreamy is adjective, placed before fancies. Now, let's talk about the rhyme scheme of the poem. The rhyme scheme of the poem is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. So you can see that each stanza has 8 lines. So if you see the first stanza, when the humid shadows hover over all the starry spheres and the melancholy darkness gently weeps in rainy tears. So you can see that the last word of the first, second and third lines are not rhyming with each other. So A, B, C. And you can see the last word of the fourth line is tears, which is rhyming with the last word of the second line. So it's again B. Then we have pillow, not rhyming with any of the word, so D. Then we have bed, E. Patter, F, and overhead is rhyming with bed, so it's E again. So in this way, you can say the rhyme scheme of this poem is A, B, C, B, D, E, F, E. The same way you can see in other stanzas also. So in all the stanzas, you will find the same rhyme scheme. So that was all for today. I hope you all understood the poem Rain on the Roof. Keep reading the text, revise it, and clear your doubts whenever you feel like. Take good care of yourself. Bye. Thanks for listening.